Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here, back with Lord of the Rings Online, and we're carrying on with our, we're trying to follow the Fellowship's path as accurately as we can in Lord of the Rings Online. It's been a bit hit and miss so far, I think, in part 1, and part 2 kind of gets a bit worse, to be honest. I need to explain a few things, I think, probably. I've been checking out some maps, and essentially this road here that goes from Tuckborough to Stock, the Tuckborough Stock Road, doesn't actually pass through Woodhall directly. On sort of proper maps of the Shire, to the south of where Woodhall currently is on the map here, you can see Woodhall should be down here somewhere, and there's another area called Woody End, which is like a big sort of forested area, and that's where quite a lot of this particular part of the journey takes place, so I can't really do it. So we're going to have to skip some of it. You got the bits like, I think there's a they follow the road for a certain point, and then Frodo says we need to turn right to head off to the direction of Woodhall. We can't do that. You know, they've cut lots of the map out here. Obviously, for practical purposes, that's fine. But it just means that we can't follow the Hobbit's journey directly. Things we've missed, I think there's a bit where they sort of turn off and then they stop and they sort of have a bit of food in a huge tree stump. The tree stump's not here as far as I'm aware. You got the bit where they hide from the Black Rider, which, as far as I'm aware, isn't here. I mean, I haven't been able to locate it. You've also got there's a second point where a Black Rider turns up that they see, but then some elves come along and they sort of, after the elves take the mick out of them a bit, they sort of join up. And the elves take them to a place where they sort of camp with the elves for the night, and that was sort of up at the Woody End forest, a bit far to the south. But it's not here, so I can't show you. There is an abandoned elf camp here, just above. There's Woodhall down there, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the camp, or sort of Lord of the Rings Online's version of where they camped out. But when you read the book, it's nothing like the way they describe it in the book. So yes, I'm not sure. And then they leave the elves and journey on, and anyone who read the book will sort of remember that Frodo decides to take a shortcut, because on a proper map the road from Stock sort of around to Woodhall takes a bit of a curve. It sort of if you imagine everything's pushed south a bit, the road would sort of go up sort of around really where sort of Budgeford is and come down. So he wants to miss that bit out if he can. Just a bit of a shortcut, which goes disastrously wrong, because I think you'd end up getting lost in some pretty badly wooded areas, lots of brambles and stuff, ditches and whatnot. But none of that's on here, so I can't show you that. But what eventually happens, what I will show you, is after they leave the elves and they get themselves lost trying to take a shortcut. I think in the book the chapter's called Shortcut to Mushrooms. What eventually happens, let's see if I can I'm not sure how far away I am. Let's have a quick look on the map. Not too far. Anyway, what happens is eventually they find themselves in Farmer Maggot's fields, so that's where we're going to go next. Yes, a bit of an unsuccessful sort of section, that. There just isn't the areas there that are in the book to be able to follow it accurately. So what I thought I'd do is just sort of explain a bit about what was going on, and then what we'll do is we'll move ourselves over to Banfurlong. Yeah, they kind of come out in Farmer Maggot's fields, I guess, like this kind of thing. There is supposed to be a bit of a lane that they follow, but I haven't seen it, so I'm just going to go through his fields. No wonder he gets peed off with young hobbits going through the fields. And then we're going to go around and there he is with his dogs. Grip Fang. There's Wolf there. The other two dogs don't move, I don't think. I think Wolf just seems to scout around the area. There's Farmer Maggot, one of his sons. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure anyone who's read the book will remember that Frodo had got a bit of a beating from Farmer Maggot when he was a young tearaway hobbit for nicking mushrooms. So he was a bit scared of coming back. But I think what happens is Farmer Maggot sort of offers to sort of invites them to stay for dinner, which they do in the end. Frodo's a bit sort of unsure because he wants to get to Buckland as soon as possible. But they stay at the Maggots for dinner because Farmer Maggot says that he'll ride them to the ferry in his wagon, and this must be the wagon here. No wagon journey for us, so what we're going to do, I'm assuming this must be the path they take. It's night time when they take the path, so we didn't get the time sort of accurate for this video. We're a bit out, it's broad daylight. But Farmer Maggot takes them in his wagon and they head off for Bucklebury Ferry. And obviously, I mean, this is quite a basic bit, this bit, you know, I mean, there's a road going from Farmer Maggots to Bucklebury Ferry, you know. I think, if I can remember, the journey takes a fair while in the wagon, but obviously everything's much smaller here, so they also bump into Merry along the way. I think when they're pretty close to the ferry, actually. There's a little path going off to the right there, so let's take a little shortcut across there. So I think we're quite close to the ferry now, it's just over the road there. So I mean, at this point they would be, they probably bumped into Merry by now because he came looking for them because they got themselves lost and were taking so long. And here we go, we're at the ferry. Ferry doesn't move. In fact, I think the ferry is moored over at the other side. This looks like a sort of a standing for it, doesn't it? So we're going to have to swim again. Not very Hobbit-like, but you know, the ferry doesn't move backwards and forwards, so what can you do? Shame actually, because it'd been quite good just to sit there waiting for the ferry to turn up and then, you know, get on it and go across again. But no chance of that. Yeah, so they get off at the ferry. I think it's pretty dark at this point. Ferry's closed till further notice. Oh, there you go. That's why it's not working. I wonder if Turbine will ever get it running. Anyway, at this point, they get off the ferry and they see a black rider on the other side, or what they think is a black rider anyway. And then Merry leads them on to Crickhollow. This part of the journey is all pretty straightforward as well. Nothing really. There's not much description in the book. I think Merry goes off ahead to get some dinner ready and some baths and stuff, and they sort of follow as best they can. It is a lovely part of the game. This really well realised. I think it really is. I think the Shire and the Hobbit areas are probably some of the best in the game for sort of feel. You know, sort of, I wouldn't say accurate, because who knows what you know, who knows. Only Tolkien knows really, but yeah, they feel really nice. Now over there is the entrance to the old forest, which I think we'll be going into maybe on the next part of the video. And over here is Crickhollow. This is a little house that Frodo buys. It's kind of a bit of just a cover story for him leaving the Shire, really. I think at this point, sort of, Merry and Pippin and Sam are not supposed to know what's going on, but they find out after spending the evening at the Crickhollow house here. There's Freddie Garbolger, Fatty Bolger. I'm assuming that when Lord of the Rings was written way back, calling someone fatty probably wasn't as politically incorrect as it is nowadays. But there's Freddie Garbolger. Yeah, and that's Crickhollow. This is obviously after the Fellowship's moved on. The place was attacked by Black Riders, so. But yeah, we're at Crickhollow. Now, this has been quite a short video, I think, and I'm not sure. I think probably I should leave it at that. What I might do is just start off the next part of the journey, because what happens is hobbits get up the next morning, and very early they head off to decide to go through the old forest. Try and I think they've been waiting for Gandalf, but he hasn't turned up. So they decide to take the old forest. Try and get it out of prying eyes, I think, for a while. Just get out of the way of the riders and whatnot. That's the old forest tunnel. I believe in the book the gate's locked, but I think Merry's got a key. And here we go. Now I won't get too far into the old forest. I think the first section the hobbits find when they're on their journey is the Bonfire Glade. I'm not in the forest proper yet, so the map hasn't come up. Yeah, but I think it's Bonfire Glade is the first part they find. I remember when I first came to the Old Forest with the very first character. Absolute nightmare. I couldn't stand it. I mean, I grew to love it actually once I found my way around, by memory. It was great. It was pretty easy to get from one place to another. But it's a Bonfire Glade. Yeah, so the hobbits come here first. Apparently there was a big fire here. They burnt lots of trees and stuff. I think apparently the trees or something sort of started to attack the fence, if memory serves. And they come in and chopped a load down and burnt them. So this is the Bonfire Glade. Yeah, but as I was saying, I mean, the Old Forest was a complete nightmare when I first played the game with the first character. He was a hobbit, I think. Hobbit Guardian, I think it might have been. But once you find your way around, it's pretty easy going. Now, obviously, what we're going to be doing is coming up to Tom Bombadil. Goldberry Spring. There's a bald hill. I'm not sure if they come to that or not. But we'll be heading over to Old Man Willow and Tom Bombadil's house. Now, I think I'll end this video here, guys. It's been a short one. We haven't seen too much, but there was a fair chunk of the journey that I couldn't really recreate in the game very well. But we have reached the Bonfire Glade in the Old Forest. And for what we've got coming up, well, we've got the Old Man Willow, we've got Tom Bombadil, and then we've got the Barrow Downs. It should be pretty awesome. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.